Well, hello, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of the F1 2025 Booty Radio, My Team Career Mode. We are here at the halfway point of the season, Silverstone, and our prayers have been answered. We have full dry running. Of course, it comes on a track where the AI is traditionally very strong. We did get a little rain in practice, but we've at least got dry race, dry qualifying on the schedule. I believe we do have some clouds in amongst it, but nothing that's going to keep us in damp weather. Of course, we've moved ourselves up to P9. Well, we've kept ourselves in P9 in the Drivers' Championship. 47 points. The Booty Radio F1 team up to P5 pretty comfortably in its own little spot with that P4 finish last time out in Austria. Joshua took the engine penalty after having to take some for some extra engine components, so he's taken that in the last race, hence why he was pretty far down the order. Looking to see him get back up the order in what is his home race, but he scored 12 points so far this season, which is not a bad start. Let's go ahead and get engine components swapped in, practice components out, race components in, as we also drop in gearbox number 12. So we are going to be halfway through the season at the end of this one. Let's, though, see if we can score some points at a track that is typically a bit more difficult against the AI. They're usually pretty quick here. But let's see what we can do and head off to qualifying.
Welcome along, everybody, to a venue that was built for speed. Once an airfield, now one of the finest racetracks in the world. It's qualifying day here at Silverstone for the British Grand Prix.
All right, let's get ready for flying lap number 1 around the historic Silverstone circuit. Let's try and open up this corner and maybe get a little better run to start the lap, as there's a couple of little corners. But here we go. Cross the line to start the lap. Turn 1 flat out. Keep it pinned. Turn 2 as well. Tricky little combination of turns 3 and 4. Get the car rotated, widen that entry, and then turn 4. Just make sure get the car around. Very tricky little traction zone, but then we're on to the next DRS zone. Wing wide open, the first of the 2 DRS zones. Headed down to Brooklands and left field, right around that 50-meter board. Get that car slowed down, late apex there, and then we're going to kind of V off the corner. Early clip of that apex, run out just a little wide, and then it straightens out the exit a little more. So it'll kink down the old Wellington straight, and now into Copse, which is nearly flat out. I had a teeny tiny bit of a lift if you watched the throttle trace there. But now Beckett's flat out for the first 2, and then scrubbing a little speed, a bit wide, but you can see that front left tire really cooking on the temperature panel through that high energy set of corners. Couple of ones left to go. Stowe probably took a little too much speed off there. Could have been a little more aggressive with it. And now the last 3 corners, technically. The Vale chicane, get on the power, and then this little right-hander. Across the line at 24.901. 2 seconds off of the Mercedes. But we know there's a big gap between us and the top cars. All right, let's settle in for run number 2. Provisional P11 at the moment, which is not bad, but not great. We are about 1/10 of a second off of the time that Joshua sent. So there's an opportunity to improve in terms of the teammate battle as well. So let's get after it. Of course, we've got the slightly used tires on. That may cost us a little bit here and there, but I think we can clean up portions of the lap that will help us really improve on the lap time. Pretty good run through the opening section there, about 1/4 of a second found. Through Brooklands and left field, pretty much holding relatively steady, a little slower on the exit. You can probably owe that to the wearing tires. Push a little harder through cop set time. Getting a little more trusting in what the tires are going to give us. lift a little early for the final part of that group, and that'll actually allow us to get into that right-hander better, and we've gained quite a bit of time there. Get the power down clean. We're going to find about a half second on this lap, so that puts us just ahead of our teammate in provisional P9. All right, last chance for qualifying here at the British Grand Prix. Joshua not going to get out for another lap. He did 3 early laps. So starting provisional P9. Keep an eye in that top left corner, though, as the cars ahead of us finish their laps to see if anybody improves past us. But here we go. Fresh tires on the way. Let's go ahead and use a little more battery through turns 1 and 2 this time. Finding ourselves with a little bit of battery at the end of the lap. And since we have an opportunity to do some recharge through these corners, probably a good idea to spend it early and recover it later. But just about even with our best lap there, so not a very good run, considering the benefit that the fresh tires and the grippier track should bring. A little wide on the exit. That's really going to cost us some serious time. I don't think, unless we have a monster final sector, we're going to have really any shot with improving our position. Just about keep it in the bounds through Copse there. More bravery through Magnussen. Beckett's car really does stick, but we are out of battery. We spent too much early on, and we are going to bleed time the rest of the way. And we did find nothing. Almost exactly even with our second run.
Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
It's fine. It would have had to have been a pretty significant improvement to catch Sonoda. It would have been, what, almost half a second, just shy of it, about 4/10. But as we expect, both Mercedes, both Ferraris, both McLarens, both Red Bulls making up those top 8 positions. It's going to be a matter of holding on for that 9th or 10th place.
Welcome to not only the home of British motorsport, but also the birthplace of the Formula One World Championship. It's race day here at Silverstone, a classic on the calendar, and it's time for the British Grand Prix. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of Silverstone Circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, but the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Senna, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri and Verstappen, Sonoda, Martins, Fernando Alonso and Carlos Sainz, Pierce, Gasly, Alex Albon and Lawson, Doohan, Stroll, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Nico Hülkenberg, Hadjar, Bortoletto, Ocon and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track.
We've got a good chance of matching our results from the last race here. Let's make sure we get the result we deserve.
All right, need a strong result. The 2-stop is completely out of the question because of just how slow the pit lane is. It's worse than you even think it is. So we're just going to go ahead and get our 1-stop tire strategy baked in. I think we just kind of go with it around the cars around us and see what we can do. Here we are on the inside line and a tricky turn 1 coming up. Good purchase off the line, but it is going to get a little crowded on the apex. Let's see if we can dive the inside of Verstappen here. Should be quite the regular move. He's going to get that cut back underneath. We're going to make his exit just a little bit compromised, leave him some space. It's going to cost us track limits warning, but we should be fine as far as track limits goes in this race. Not too worried. And that's a couple of spots up right at the start of the race, which will be good news. Although here's where they get their benefits. Little straight line run down to Cops is always quick for them. We got a little too close to the gearbox, had to back off a little bit there. Well, let's settle in. DRS is going to be available next lap. We're going to fall off the back of the lead pack, unless, well, it looks like there's a little bit of fighting going on up in front of me. Let's see if we can get close enough to maintain some DRS on this lap. I don't expect it just because of how quick they are through this first sector. But, yeah, we get it on the... Get to where we need to be on the brakes. And that's going to buy us a little bit of time from the pressure behind. More fighting between the two McLarens up ahead of us. Car really washed out there. Spend some battery. We're able to stay within DRS of these two McLarens again, which will be good news for our total race. What we need is for Sainz to fall off the back of this group and give us an opportunity to kind of run away a little bit with the lead cars. The amount of battery I'm spending per lap, though, definitely not sustainable. In order to keep Verstappen behind. I think we managed to get DRS by literally 1,000th of a second. I think we were on exactly 1 second when we crossed the detection point. But that'll be it for our DRS, which means Verstappen will be by us fairly easy. Now we'll start to worry about what Carlos Sainz is doing in the Williams. I don't want Verstappen to attack me into turn 1. You don't want a full flat out section. To be where he sticks his nose in. Full battery spend might keep me ahead. Go a little wide around the outside. Just gonna turn to the inside for us. Verstappen hangs it out around the outside with that grip and that traction off the corner. So he's going to get through. Ooh, and the dirty air means 2 warnings. Just ran a little wide because of that dirty air. Now we've got to be careful for 22 laps, which is never a particularly fun time. Little mistake through turn 3 there. We had the DRS at the detection point, but we're not going to have the lead over Sainz for too much longer, I don't think. That Williams is looking pretty quick today. Driver behind.
That's Sainz behind you now. Time last lap, 1 minute 28.6. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining.
Okay. Does look like they might be 2-stopping, though, with those soft tires, so he's going to be a pest to us at the moment. But I think we're going to kind of clear him on strategy. Kind of an awkward spot to let him through. But we got the job done. We kind of had to be careful with it, with the Red Bull right behind. Now the hope is that his soft tires are going to die off. And we can just kind of like stick with his DRS in the straight line. And thus defend ourselves from Yuki. Oh, Yuki, you closing the door on me. I was still there, dude. Even trying to hold the tighter line. Hopefully we didn't pick up any damage from that. I think we're okay. Tires are already starting to wear pretty quickly. And here comes the Red Bull of Sonoda. Don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep him at bay. Should have the exit we need. Oof. Okay, no more touching that curb. That really upset the car. I had to make a big save there. This is when Yuki gets by easily. Well, Maybe not super easily. We kind of forced him off. We're going to cede the position to him there. I was trying just to pinch him on the exit, but I ended up running him fully off the road, and at that point I'll just yield the position. Not fair to shove him off like that. Realistically, how far Sainz has taken these initial set of softs into the race, he might be pulling off a one-stop, because those do not seem to be wearing out at all. Antonelli has caught up, as we kind of would expect in the Mercedes in its performance class. Like I said, after qualifying, P9 is probably the realistic high point. P10, if we can hold on to it, although Sainz is really just rapid, apparently. And here's where Antonelli gets through. Pretty easy maneuver on his part. There goes Sainz into the pit lane. Just about got it slowed down in time. That is a tricky pit entry. But now you can see just how long it takes to get through this pit lane. It is a doozy. And still the game has not updated the pit lane speed limit to be what the real life pit lane speed limit is. It changed like 4 or 5 years ago at this point. Good pit stop. A couple of two-stoppers should have gotten ahead of us. Now we need to get these tires up to temperature and back to racing. That said, even cold, the grip on these is better than what the mediums had at the end of their stint. One thing we are going to have to be careful about is the AI does come out of the pits with their tires basically fully good to go and up to temperature, whereas we have to spend that lap or so bringing them in. So we don't want Alex to get to DRS range before, and hopefully we can actually be not being caught by him in general. Maybe he's just quicker in clean air than we are.
Joshua in the pits. Joshua in the pits now.
Joshua doing a two-stop? Or no, he stayed out one extra lap. There's Sonoda. And there's the power of the undercut. We were several seconds off the back of Sonoda when we came into the pit lane. Managed to get it to nearly a second. Maybe if we push on a bit, we might be able to get a cheeky couple DRS zones out of the Red Bull, which would go a long way to helping our battle against Alex Albon. Behrman out of the session. Looks like he's parked off in a a spot that won't trigger a safety car, though. We're still just kind of lurking around the back of Yuki Tsunoda. However, that is a big mistake through that set of corners. Here's the yellow flags. Yeah, he's pulled off to the side in a safe spot.
VSC deployed. The virtual safety car
Oh,
has
virtual
been deployed.
safety car.
We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down and maintain a positive delta.
So a good opportunity to get some battery back.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
Unfortunately, we went through the DRS detection whilst under VSC, which means we get no DRS. So we're pushing real hard to try and make sure we stay with Tsunoda. Piastri with the 2-stop. He's just coming out of the pit lane now, so it might get interesting here on the exit. We are going to be just ahead of him. He's on a set of soft tires, though. Well, he might have gambled on the VSC lasting longer than it did. Although he'll have tons and tons of grip at this stage with those soft tires. So I don't expect it'll be too much effort for him getting by us. We just need to make sure that in the same act of him passing us, we don't lose touch with Tsunoda. So it'll probably be down the hangar straight. That he gets by. Ooh, so much dirty air because of that. That was a lot of dirty air and understeer. We're getting ready to start the final lap. About what I expected from a full dry race, considering how the car performance charts lay out. And realistically, around Silverstone, I wouldn't have been surprised, especially with the way the first half of the race went, if Albon was able to catch me up in the second phase of the race and relegate me down to P10. But we did get the benefit of coming out close to Tsunoda, getting that undercut, and then being able to just kind of sit in his DRS for the rest of the race. Not quite have enough punch to get by him, but he is going to help us shore up our position in the race. We'll go for one more. We'll see what we can get out of the final run to Stowe. Yep, just a long way back, and that's the last of the battery there. Picked up two track limits warnings very early on in the race, was able to stay clean the rest of the way, which was very important, while still maintaining good pace. I'll take a P9 finish.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
And it's always good, Crofty, to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
Only 3 can take to the podium, and here they come. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, Antonelli took the grid penalty, but stormed his way through, and as expected, we had both drivers of all 4 top teams covering the top 8, so not a big shock. George Russell and Oscar Piastri made the 2-stop work. Lando Norris won from pole quite comfortably to the tune of 14.5 seconds. We kept Verstappen busy for a little while, but I'll take a P9 finish. Not bad. Joshua dropped 1 spot with the P11 finish. I think overall pace just wasn't quite there for him. Overall standings, we are closing in on that 50-point mark. And as far as constructors go, Williams up to 6. So on the plus side, it wasn't Fernando Alonso scoring points, not the team closest to us in the constructors. Although at this stage, halfway through the season, you know, you've got 2 teams on track to score 600 points. Almost 3 teams on track to score 600 points. It's very, very much a top-heavy championship this year around. And Lando Norris now is a 1-race advantage over George Russell. So a good result for him to take the race win today and grow that advantage.
I must remind you that we have parts fully researched that are waiting for development. Let's get that performance on the car.
Points on the board. Love to see it. Owner training. Nice. We got another point to spend. What can I do? Can I do anything that will speed up? Yeah, take time to develop, reduce. Definitely need that development to be accelerated. Looks like we got another engineering facility upgrade done, which is just fantastic. Anything available for new research? Not yet. Those are still both underway. Power unit, I think we are fully researched up. Durability is completed, but there is nothing new to start there. Research-wise, how close are we on the developments? 7 days till our DRS slot gap is ready. We've got fuel efficiency tech on the way soon. 4 days, 8 days for an exhaust improvement, and then a couple of durability upgrades almost ready to go in. But now that we've completed that, let's keep the developments ongoing and take a look at the progress history. So actually, Williams actually jumped us in the performance charts. So Williams, a big upgrade for their home Grand Prix at Silverstone, and that would explain why Albon was looking so good. Red Bull took a little leap forward. They're starting to close the gap back up to the front, but you can still see that big gulf between us and Red Bull, and you know that gap is as big as the gap between us and Sauber, which is the second worst team on the grid. Do we have any other facility improvements ready yet? No, we're still a ways away on a few of those. So let's go ahead and set up our activities. We have time to do the owner training. Let's make sure we've got... let's increase hiring rate. We got quite a bit of time before the next race, which is good. So that means we're going to have several upgrades ready to go. Let's powertrain development. Let's get the development blitzes in. I think we can get all 3. Yeah, we can. Fantastic. Personnel, what we got available to us? Let's get a hiring run. That's going to help us in the long run. Focus. And driver wellness, some more focus. Lastly, yeah, we'll go for the big sponsor promo and big fan outreach drive as well. So, quite a bit of time for us to advance through. We should get quite a few things done. Nice, some research completed. Ooh, failure on some research there doesn't help. Failure on developments. You don't like to see it. Oof, more development failures. Which is not going to help us.
Okay, I'll be honest. These talks have been pretty
Yep, Victor, let's check out if this has done any updates to what he wants. I think we're pretty much ready to offer him a contract. Victor is always solid. And yeah, no more performance penalty clause. So I think we sign him for what he wants. And he'll be on the roster next year. Really, that second driver seat is where it's going to get interesting as far as, do we spend the money on Joshua, or do we look at one of the other drivers, Paul Aaron or Franco Colapinto, to side them? Okay, a lot going on here. Research. Let's just start here. Nothing to do. Did unlock some new. I'm not getting brake upgrades. The brakes are always broken. Rear floor under tray. Get that underway. Fantastic. And we got some durability. I think we are caught up on what we can research in durability, which is very good. So now development-wise, we do have quite a few failures, but we have slots available. And it looks like they're still going to get there in time for the next race, which is just wonderful to see. Hydraulics, yeah, we'll just continue with the dual development. Nothing, there's no reason to focus and try and get that upgrade before Monza for one car. That's not, you know, we are what we are at this point of the season. Dual development, that one unfortunately is going to get delayed, but we still can get this intercooler done before the next race. Let's get the redevelopments underway. It's big money to do redevelopments, unfortunately. We are spending some cash. Upgrades. We got 3, so let's go Joshua, Victor, Joshua. We'll give him the durability upgrades. Component management. Let's keep an eye on Joshua, so we can put him back on that unused set. Keep those ones in reserve. Get him on to set 2 there. And that turbocharger, and still got plenty of life there. So, he should have a relatively healthy engine before the start of the next Grand Prix. And let's spend some cash to get the next ones going there. And next thing going in the corporate world. More advancement.
Hey boss, what do you make of this?
What do you want, personnel facility? Yeah, sure, let's spend the cash in, up the hiring. Money's not of much an object at this stage of the season. I think we still have a little while before we get to make an offer, if I'm not mistaken, because, yep. So, drivers, yeah, still 42 days from the contract window. Talks are going very good with Victor. I think he's a lock to sign next season. Joshua, what is he still? He's still asking almost 12 million a year. That's kind of a lot. It might be the end of his run with us. Paul Aaron looking for 2.8. And Franco, early talks. So, got some work to do on his front. Good. All
Hey,
those
Chief,
developments worked.
We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't
Yeah,
forget to
that's where I'm
develop
going. That's where I'm
them.
going.
We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.
Yeah. Development. Okay, Aero, we got all those good and done. A failure here. We will get that before Monza now. Durability upgrades. Let's go ahead and dual develop you. And let's dual develop you. Keep that car going in the right direction. And we have the opportunity for another. Yeah, let's get the advanced tooling so we've got better development times. I don't think it's going to show this week's jump, so we'll have a fair number of upgrades going on to the car to start the Belgian Grand Prix. But I think that is about going to do it for this one. Well, let's take a look at the money. Let's just check the finances. I know we had a very, very expensive couple weeks here. Yeah, you see that that jump in spending. But we're still well short of the cost cap. Thank you all for joining me once again. We will get back to it for the Belgian Grand Prix, one of my favorite tracks, and see how we can perform there. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.